Good morning, everyone. It's great to see everybody this morning. My name is Fred Morgan. I am from the class of 77 of EGSC, Emmanuel County Junior College, and I am so very proud to be here today and to be a part of this. I have so many great memories of this place. The people I met and interacted with, the time I spent here, the courses I took, I was thinking back about some of those. And one of those that I just have had so much on my mind is my statistics course. Now, I don't know why that stands out in my mind so much, but I loved statistics here at EGSC. In fact, I think it was probably the favorite course I took the entire time I was in college here and then later on at Georgia when I went to school. But statistically speaking, I would say that 9 out of 10 people I told I loved statistics looked at me like I was crazy. They said, oh, I hated that, I started it, I withdrew, or I'm never going to take that, or I've always heard it's rotten. But it always just has been very interesting to me. And then 9 out of 10 people I think would also tell you, you know, maybe you're better to be lucky than smart. And maybe 9 out of the 10 teachers I had coming up through grade school and high school said, Fred, you know, you're not very smart, maybe you'll be lucky. So I was very lucky to be able to come out here, to be in Swainsboro at the time when EGSC at the time was envisioned, Emmanuel County Junior College, and very, very lucky to come out here and start my post-secondary education. It was a wonderful, very personal experience and just a wonderful time in my life. And I know that a lot of you have shared the same experiences and have the same realizations about the college experience here. And I think we can all say that we're very lucky that there were some smart visionaries who came up with this idea and pushed this through, and now it's amazing to think that we're celebrating the 40th birthday. Just so good to see everybody. At this time, I would like to invite President Bob Bomer up to extend greetings on behalf of the college.
Good morning, everyone. Isn't this a glorious morning to celebrate the 40th anniversary of East Georgia State College? This is just great. I want all of you to know that I had the opportunity to participate this morning in the Bobcat Dash with a Splash, where I can see a number of you have the green and the yellow still in your hair. I want you to know that I've still got it in my eyes, so I'm just pretending I can see all of you. Fred, I really appreciate your being here. Doesn't Fred not have the best speaking voice you've heard in a long time? I kind of feel like I remember, the older folks in the room will remember this, Johnny Carson show, where George Goebel was on the Johnny Carson show, and he followed a particularly impressive singer, and George Goebel got up there and said, do you ever feel like the whole world is a tuxedo and you're a pair of brown shoes? But thanks so much for being here, Fred. It's a real honor to have you here. I want to say briefly to you this morning that since the first time that I visited East Georgia State College, and that was a couple of years before I began serving as the interim president, the single most striking feature about the college for me has been, and it really continues to be, this really unique and special relationship between this college, East Georgia State College, and this community, Swainsboro, Emmanuel County. You know, that discussion about the college-community relationship, people call it the town-gown relationship, it's not unusual in college towns, But what's unusual is in most college towns, it focuses on problems. It focuses on things like parking and the intrusion of the college on the community. But here in Swainsboro, Emmanuel County, when you talk about the town-gown relationship, it focuses on contributions and possibilities. And that's what's been built here over the last 40 years, and that's why this celebration of this special relationship between the college and the community is just so important to me, and why I so deeply appreciate the work that's been done to plan this special event today. And I want to today single out Norma Woods Kennedy and all the members of the planning committee for putting this really special event together. Let's give them a round of applause, folks. In just a few moments, we're going to enjoy a short play entitled A Journey Through Time. And after we watch that skit, I'd like to ask you all to do me a favor. And what I'd like to ask you to do is agree with me that after the skit, we're going to daydream a little bit about the future possibilities that what we've seen in the skit make real for us here. And what I want you to do is envision a Swainsboro, Emmanuel County with a vibrant, renewed downtown area, teeming with community members and an increased number of students who are living on campus and enjoying this beautiful community. I want you to envision a dramatic growth in the $70 million economic impact of the college on the community. And I want all of you, after this skit, to realize that all of that is possible because of what you, this beautiful community, have done over the last 40 years. And I also would like today to take just a moment to recognize Steve Lavender, who is an instructor of creative writing here at the college, who has written the script for this play. I'd like to recognize the Student Government Association for constructing the time machine that we're going to see in this play. If you'd allow me just a moment to digress, yesterday I met presidents from colleges across the state of Georgia. And as those presidents came up to me after the investiture, not a single one of them failed to say, "Your students are so impressive. They represent this college and this community so well, and we are so proud of all of you, not just for what you've done today, but what you've done this entire week." So thank you. I'd like to also thank Stacy Poole for assistance with the sound and the lighting, and Darlene Dickens, biology lecturer, and Ben Mims, SGA sophomore representative, who are going to perform the play. And at this point, I'm going to turn the microphone over to, I believe, Mr. Bogun, who is going to introduce some very special guests. Bo?
Good morning, everybody. Before I introduce the guests that we have here that are very special to the college, I'd like to say a little bit about what the college has meant for me in my life. And it was very important in the fact that it helped build the foundation for me to build on for the rest of my life. And you know, what you take away from here will continue with you throughout your life and all circumstances you have to go through. And I was just very blessed to have the opportunity to attend East Georgia College and have it right here in my hometown. So, first I'd like to recognize the members of the East Georgia State College Foundation. If we have any of those with us, would you please stand? Okay. Any current or former faculty that are here with us today, please stand. Current and former staff with us, if you will stand. Current and former students with us today, please stand. Oh, very good. Now, the next few folks are going to be special to Dr. Balmer, his special guest. We'll start with his wife, Joyce. We have his daughters, Beth and Megan, with us. His brother, Gabe, sister-in-law, Jenny, and their daughter, Emily. Margie and Peter Shedd, Liz and Galen Edwards, Anita Olson, Chris Fox, Al Jeffers, Alan Acock, and Jen Cole. Please join me in giving a round of applause for them. Thank you.
All right, very good, and thank you, Bo. That was an excellent job. As an alumnus, you're a testimony to the quality of education provided at East Georgia State College. You're a graduate here. As I've thought back over my times here, as I thought about today, I just had a stream of thoughts that I'm going to share just a little bit with you. And some of you, particularly I guess some of the former faculty and folks who've been around for a long time might remember this, but times, they have changed. The world is a dramatically different place than it was many years ago when I attended here. I started classes here in 1975, in the fall of 1975. I lived back in Lake Luck, just a little over the hill from here. In fact, a little over the hill is how my school-age daughters describe me these days. But me and my friends rode motorcycles. I think the statute of limitations has passed, illegally all over town back in those days, including all through the woods in this area where this college was, because there was really nothing here back then. But I have such fond memories of that. And the things I experienced, you know, really a small town boy, my experiences were so limited. I think that the only foreign food I had ever had before I got to college was a pizza at the Pizza Hut that had opened here. But it was a brand new experience for me and for so many of us, just as a small town boy. And these are personal reminiscences. I know that thousands of others who've had the good fortune to go through here you know, have experienced some of the similar things. So I'm just going to share some of the things that kind of ran through my mind very briefly. Until I came here, I never had known anybody with a hyphenated name. There was a professor here named George Heaps Nelson, and I thought, wow, what's he doing with that dash in his name? So unusual. We had, I think, the first college professor that I had ever seen who wore a toupee, Leon Abrams, you know, and he was a, you know, and this was all very new to me and all fresh, and I was thinking, you know, and he was, I think, a Margaret Mead groupie, because what he would do is he would show these 16 millimeter films, you know, there were no video projectors back then, And he would show these 16-millimeter films in black and white of Margaret Mead interacting with whatever culture she happened to be interacting with around the world at the time. Bob Simpson smoked a pipe. I think really back then you could smoke anywhere. I mean, you know, not anything, but anywhere, just about any time, except maybe, you know, maybe when class wasn't going on. But I mean, it was just, you know, the world today. I happened to catch a rerun of the movie Aliens, which is, you know, somewhere 200 or 300 years into the future. And after they thaw these people out and wake them up, you know, the first thing they do is sit around the table and have a cup of coffee and a cigarette. And I think, you know, the world is really different than it was back then. I remember wonderful Wednesdays here at ECJC, East Georgia State College now, of course, and the Student Government Association was very, very busy planning events. In fact, there were active organizations even in a very young school. I was in the Baptist Student Union. The Student Government Association had arranged for a band to play. It was a very popular band at the time called Eli, and you know, they were very popular. They played over in the Student Center at the time, and I thought, well, this will be a great fundraising opportunity for the Baptist Student Union. We'll sell soft drinks, and so we, through the cooperation of, I think, Jim Cameron and the Coca-Cola Company, we got the Coca-Colas and soft drinks and ice and, you know, those great wax Coca-Cola cups that we needed. And, of course, you know, sales were okay. We would sell a Coke every now and then. But you know, I realized after a while that for every one Coke we were selling about 10 cups of ice. And, of course, you know, the irony is that the Baptist Student Union was selling setups for people who were just getting cups of ice to fix their drinks. So that was the college experience. Exchange student, well, you know, we had a guy coming here from Lincolnton, and that was about as far away as anybody. And student housing, I've been to the dorm over here. It's fantastic. This student from Lincolnton, his name was Alton Bentley, and I remember he lived out on Highway 80 East in a little tiny motorhome that must have been 20 square feet. So that was really kind of student housing. Otherwise, you know, there wasn't much place to stay. Don Wilson was a ping pong whiz. He was on the staff. He was a financial aid officer, if I remember correctly, and he would just crush all opponents in the student center. Sam Garcia's chili. You could really go out and pretend you were some kind of dragon after you ate that. It was just so amazingly hot. Working in the library down in the basement was just a great experience. The place to eat, there was a place called the Tasty Freeze, I think, right down the road. Everybody raved about their ham and cheese sandwiches. You know, there were no cell phones. I don't know if there were any computers on the campus at the time, but you know, if you really had a fancy cell phone, you just had one on the wall in your house that actually had push buttons instead of rotary dials. And there were still telephone booths. Those were very, very common. In fact, people would, you know, it's an interesting concept. You know, you have cell phones now, you can call anybody from anywhere practically, but with a telephone booth, you would just close yourself up in a little box and then put coins into the machine. So the world is definitely a different place, but it was made a better place here when ECJC, East Georgia State College, opened their doors and gave so many local people an opportunity to experience these interesting experiences that for a lot of us were the very, very first time we had an experience around folks who were interesting college folks. So I think at this time, what we're going to do is we are going to encourage you to sit back, relax, and get ready for a journey through time. An entertaining short skit written by Steve Lavender, instructor of creative writing and English at the college. It's a glimpse back of the past 40 years and features Darlene Dickens as the professor and Ben Mims as the student. Darlene teaches biology, and she was in the first full graduating class at Emmanuel County Junior College, and she also has the distinction of being the very first applicant to the college when it opened. Ben's very active in campus life and serves as sophomore senator for the Student Government Association. He will graduate this spring, so enjoy the show.
Does it work? I don't know. Thomas! I've been waiting for my cat Thomas. I was going to send him into the future.
I'd like to volunteer.
What do you want to volunteer for?
Well, it's my second year here at East Georgia, and I guess you could say I haven't been doing so well. I've been goofing off, and I just know if I can go back in time to where it first started, I could do everything right. I could go to class and turn in assignments and stay awake and all that.
It's too dangerous, too dangerous. You must find Thomas. Thomas is going in the future.
Future, past, guess you just turn this knob.
No! No! You're going to send us into the Stone Age. Where are we? Let's see. 1971. This is very interesting. We're back at the very beginning when the college was first founded. In 1971, the citizens of Emanuel County approved a bond referendum that would pay for Emanuel County Junior College to become a reality. It was $2.1 million to fund the college, but the great citizens of Emanuel County voted to do this. And Luck Flanders Gambrell donated 190 acres, the acreage that we sit on today at East Georgia State College.
Who's that?
That's our first president, Dr. George W. Walker, a wonderful person, a wonderful president that we had.
And what are they doing there?
This is the groundbreaking ceremony. First classes were not actually held on this campus until 1974. We held our first campuses in the National Guard Armory and various places around the town of Swainsboro. And look, first graduating class, Steve Peoples, Carol Yeomans, David Lumpkin, and look, Dr. Walker again.
Just 3 graduates? No kidding, this year we're going to have close to 300.
It's amazing, isn't it, what's going to happen at East Georgia State?
That's a retro thing.
You're looking at Dr. Willie Gunn, who later became the president after President Walker retired from the college. And here, Willie D. Gunn, as I said, he was the dean of East Georgia State, or Emanuel County Junior College at the time, and he's sitting around talking with some students. And we're jumping to 1988. In the fall of 1988, Emanuel County Junior College became East Georgia College, and our enrollment was up to 617. And by the way, when we first started here, Emanuel County Junior College, 100 students we had.
I had no idea they had grown so much. And what are they doing there? Playing with fire?
You better believe they're playing with fire, and this was a monumental day in the history of East Georgia College. We're burning the bond. This was a ceremony. You'll see Dr. Gunn in the middle, who was the president at that time. We're celebrating paying off. Only 20 years it took the citizens of Emanuel County to pay off the bond for the college. This is President Jeremiah Ashcroft. When Willie Gunn retired as president of East Georgia College, Dr. Ashcroft took the helm as the 3rd president, and he served from 1993 to 2002.
I had no idea.
In 1994, the Vision Series began. The donations from Gene Anderson Morgan helped to fund this.
I've been to a lot of those. They're really cool.
Here you're looking at the Atlanta Pops Orchestra here. We've had former President Jimmy Carter, Maya Angelou, Andrew Young, and many other people through these donations from Miss Morgan. 1995, what a year. Our enrollment, 9 times what it began with, 917 students in 1995, and the campus computer system was installed that year.
You mean before that they didn't have Facebook?
Facebook, we actually had to sit around and talk to people. Facebook, you and your iPhones. 1997, East Georgia State College opens a campus in Statesboro on Georgia's southern campus.
I've had a lot of friends take classes up there and they really like it.
1998, 25 years East Georgia College had been in existence, and so many things had happened. We broke ground for the Lope Flanders Gambrell Center, which was actually going to be a renovation. Which actually opened in 2001. It marked the first new construction on our campus since 1972. And that was also the year that the college and the University of Georgia's Terry College of Business actually co-hosted a Rural Economic Development Outlook luncheon here on campus.
You know, I'm getting pretty hungry. How about we stop for lunch in 2002?
No, we don't have time to be stopping for lunch. In 2002, Foster Watkins, retired president of Gainesville College, was appointed as our interim president here.
Now there's a building I recognize. I'm down there shooting hoops and lifting weights all the time. And Coach Jordan is killing me in weight training.
The gym at the fitness center was actually constructed in 2003. I was there. Former President Jimmy Carter and his wife did the dedication speech that day. And look at the year, it ends in 3 again. Celebration, 30 years of existence. Dr. Black, 2004, became the college's 4th president. And the college's regional impact, now listen to this, students, $27.8 million impact to the community and the county.
That's a huge economic input to this area, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Look at this. Piney Woods Disc Golf Course opens in 2005.
Now you're talking. I'm down there pretty often. Did you know it was selected to be a National Collegiate Disc Golf Championship qualifier?
Did I tell you, you say, awesome. The East Georgia College Student Center addition and renovation was completed in 2007.
I like the meals down at the cafe. How about we stop there and get some lunch?
We don't have time to eat. Is that all you're thinking about is food? 2008, another monumental year in the history of East Georgia College. The students voted themselves to add an athletic program which included men's and women's basketball, men's baseball, women's softball, and we had Bob the Bobcat become our official mascot. We also hosted the first intercollegiate disc golf tournament ever held in Georgia. And the Miss East Georgia College pageant became part of the Miss Georgia scholarship pageant.
You know, students really do have a lot more to do on campus now besides just going to classes, thank God.
You just can't imagine. Fred spoke a few minutes ago about Wonderful Wednesday, and I hadn't thought about Wonderful Wednesday in a long time. We hosted the first watermelon eating contest that year, too. 2009, that's when I started construction of the good old time machine. It was also when the main college entrance moved off of Thigpen Drive over to Lambsbridge Road. And you'll see here, this is the dedication ceremony, right in the middle, Dr. Madison Dixon, a person who foresaw future goals. Back in the 1950s, he was thinking about having a college here, and so he was one of the community leaders that actually wanted to do this and pushed for this to happen. Also, in August of that year, 2009, we joined the National Junior College Athletic Association. After a generous donation from Pete and Ada Lee Correll, ground was broken for the Studio Fulford Community Learning Center. This was in 2010. In May of that year, it actually opened. Another perfect example of community support for East Georgia College.
The planetarium is really cool. And I've had a lot of friends take the SAT prep classes there.
So you like to look at stars, huh?
Back of my eyelids.
2011, another monumental year. exciting times at East Georgia College. Fall student enrollment was 3,063 students. And Bobcat Villas opened, which was an $8 million complex with 200 beds for students. Just imagine that. And we started the 4-year program for a bachelor's degree in science in biology. I'd have been here forever if they'd have had that when I was in school. Our new East Georgia State College campus opened in Statesboro, and in addition, a new public safety office was established. At the end of the year, December 31st of 2012, Dr. John Black retired from East Georgia College.
Living at Bobcat Villas really is convenient to everything on campus. It's just too bad they have such a long waiting list.
True, perhaps in the future we'll be thinking about more dorms. Look, another wonderful example of student support from the community. The Schott and Jean Strange Learning and Recreation Center opened in 2011.
Oh, you mean the clubhouse? Yeah, I'm down there hanging out all the time.
Perhaps that's why your grades have fallen. 2012, January 1st, our current president, Dr. Bob Bomer, became the interim president. We also had homecoming that year, and the Gene Anderson Morgan Student Activity Center was dedicated in March of that year.
Gene Anderson Morgan. Oh, you mean the Jam Center? That's what
Yes, young man. The same year, 2012, East Georgia State College was the new name that we adopted. And look, my little redheaded stepchild, Tyler, up there in the front. The same year that the East Georgia State College name changed, our first cohort began in the biology department for the bachelor's degree. Then on November the 13th of that year, Dr. Bomer was officially named as the 5th president of East Georgia State College.
Wait just a minute. In May of 2012.
This is the Luck Flanders Gambrell building at the opening of the Learning Commons, featuring a new advisement center. You may know it as the ACE Center. Perhaps you should be thinking about trying to go there some, considering your grades. The library and the Common Grounds Cafe opened that year.
Maybe if I spent more time there, I wouldn't be in this situation,
But
right?
at least you told me a while ago you did like coffee, so you could kind of hang out both places.
Wait a minute, I think we missed my stop. 2013 is way too far.
No. In 2013, the men's basketball team won the Division I state GCAA tournament and ranked 8th nationally. Do you realize we had only had a basketball team for 4 years, and here we are winning the state championship, going on to Hutchinson, Kansas. By this time, the college's regional impact had hit $70 million. And this past fall, once again, we grow. We opened the center in Augusta. The Regents University gave us space up there, and now we have East Georgia State College in Augusta.
Professor, I think we need to go back a bit.
What do you say? Oh, that's right. You wanted to go back to 2012 so you can do what you should have done the first time. Work hard, study hard, and are you sure?
That would be kind of like cheating, wouldn't it? No, I'm good.
Okay, there's no time like the present.
Yeah, I guess I really should be thinking more about my future when I make choices affecting it.
You'll do fine.
Thank you, Professor. I'll see you later.
No problem. Ah, yes, the future. What does the future hold for us here at East Georgia State College? I foresee many things that's going to happen here, and I'm so happy to be a part of that. I think the economic development, the economic input on the community is going to be great, and I think you should just dream about what's going to happen. Oh, let me look for Thomas. Thomas, are you getting ready to go? I'd like for you to go to the future with me, Thomas. Oh, God. I had to crack on you a little bit. Please forgive me for that.
That was awesome. Thank you, Professor Dickens and Ben. I also want to recognize the Student Government Association for the time machine. And good luck in the duct tape regatta today, as well as our production staff, Joe Kennedy, Robin Willis, Stacy Poole, Tyler Wilson, and Jerry Hooks. If we could have another round of applause for them. That was excellent, and of course it brought back a lot of other memories with me. Just thinking back over time, everything was brand new. There was a gentleman named Hank Evans who was manager of the physical plant, and just think what a lucky job that would be, because everything was new and hardly anything was breaking down. He didn't really have to look after it too much. Just a little time capsule, the man who was the choir director at the Baptist Church, Tom Durden, was brought out to teach a music appreciation class. And I remember, it seems so quaint now, but there was a picture in the Forest Blade of some new high-tech equipment that the school had gotten to enable him to teach that class. And what it was a Panasonic turntable. That was what he was going to do. And he had a big stack of record albums, and of course, you know, a lot of that has come back in vogue now. But really, when we were going to listen to Dvorak's New World Symphony, he had to lift up the arm and be able to drop it right down in the groove on the vinyl record. So, you know, times, they certainly have changed. I saw a picture of George W. Walker, the first president, and what a great foundation and firm footing he set ECJC on for its future at the time. I really couldn't help but think that the school had missed an opportunity, that they somehow could have gotten royalties if they had just thought at the time to come up with and copyright a bumper sticker that said W, the President. That's just a very presidential sounding name. It's all personal, my memories of school here, and I'm sure it is with current students and recent students here at East Georgia State College. I took a biology course one summer. The gentleman who taught the biology course, you know, he was not only involved in what was going on in the classroom and the labs, but he took us on a trip to the Okefenokee Swamp, and we wandered around the Okefenokee Swamp near Waycross and Folkestone. And of course, you know, when he got back, he took over the responsibilities as president of the college. His name was Willie Gunn, and of course, he finished teaching his biology course. And it was so nice. That was such a great example because he really didn't have a dividing line between being an administrator and an educator. And it was just pretty cool to say, you know, that the guy who was teaching me biology during summer was the president of the college. And just another personal note, he also took the time to write a letter on my behalf when I left school here to a former student of his who was head of public relations at the University of Georgia. Consequently, I got a job as a student assistant in the public relations department at the University of Georgia. Talk about a plum job. And it was all because someone here took a personal interest in me and took the time personally to write a letter. And I tell that story not to tell about something that happened to me, but I tell that story because I think that it really gives a tremendous example of what this institution is all about. It's really not about a detached and distant set of faculty and administrators. It's really about the people who are here every day taking a personal interest in the students' lives and what a dramatic impact it can make on people like me and, as I mentioned, the hundreds and thousands of other folks who have come through here. So as you look back on 40 years, I hope that, that as you look forward to the next 40, that continues to be an ongoing theme here because it's a valuable part of what this institution is and what it really stands for. All right, let's see here if I can. I've wandered around my script. There is one more other thing I wanted to say, one more brief little bit of memory before we sort of head toward ending things here. And there was this very, very sweet man here named Hewlin Madeley who taught geology. I took geology from him. And one other memory I had was that that Hewlin was very big into leisure suits, and he had three in particular that he liked to wear. Now, a lot of you might not realize what leisure suits are, but they were kind of a combination of something that looked like a Nehru jacket with the sleeves rolled up, and they didn't mess around. They went 100% with polyester. But Hewlin, Professor Madeley had a yellow one, and he had a light blue one, and he had a brown one, and we named those, if I'm remembering from my class right, we named those igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary, I think. So, but lots of good times and lots of treasured memories, and I'm so happy, as I mentioned earlier, to be a part of this today. As you probably guessed, things are really busy around here, and that's so exciting. 100 students in the first class. When I was here, it was around 400. I think I remember a headline in the paper that said record enrollment 425 or 440, something like that. And then I heard later on it had moved to 900, and of course it's continued to grow and grow. Here, students learn not only in the classroom but through various other opportunities, such as attending the Vision series events that were noted during that wonderful Time Machine series. The study abroad program, why was there no study abroad program when I was here? That would have been such a wonderful thing to take advantage of, but I'm glad it's here now. And through athletic and club participation, there are also other less subtle and informal ways of exposing students to new things. At this time, I want to call on Norma Kennedy, dear friend of mine and Director of Marketing and Community Relations, to join me now to share news about a new initiative that was started on campus in 2012 to provide yet another educational opportunity, not only for students, but for all of us.
Good morning. Y'all don't know how forward I've looked to today in anticipation, and it's just really heartwarming to have you all here joining in the celebration of East Georgia State College on our 40th anniversary. And I did want to just extend a personal thanks to my committee folks and the students. I mean, everyone has just been so engaged. This is a wonderful place to be, and I hope you all feel that specialness that surrounds us right now and always. And I did want to tell you just a little bit about our art explosion on campus. There is a little write-up in the program, and I hope you'll take time to look at it. We have been really busy over the last year preserving artwork that basically has been put away in a closet for the last 4 decades. And our number one goal in that was to preserve it. So it's all been framed, over 130 pieces in museum quality framing. And now it's beautifully displayed around campus. And it's for you, it's for our students, it's for everybody to enjoy. And so I hope you'll take time. It's around this campus and in Statesboro, and it'll soon be in Augusta. So I do hope as you're in any of those locations that you'll wander through the buildings and admire it. At each of the displays, there is a little informational sheet that tells you exactly who, what kind of artwork it is, the artist's name, and the year we acquired it. So it is just a special treasure that we're really pleased to share with you all. And part of that is our community art wall, and it's located just outside the auditorium, and today we officially dedicate it in your honor as we look back on the past and we pause just to reflect of where we've come from, and then we look with a great excitement at what lies ahead for us. And so I hope as we do this commemorative day today and we officially, I want to dedicate it on behalf of the college to you, the community, to the faculty, the staff. It's a beautiful collection that will endure for many years, and we're just really grateful for the artists that have contributed it, to Dr. Bomer for his vision in helping us put it together for display, and just wholeheartedly dedicate it to you, the community. One other final thing that I wanted just to share with you is an exciting development that we're hoping to have underway later this fall, and it's actually in conjunction with the Art on Campus initiative, and it's our first outdoor sculpture. I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't realize I was moving until just then. But our first sculpture, outdoor sculpture, we contacted Kevin Palmer, and he has created just an astounding representation as an icon for East Georgia State College. It will be a 25-foot tall sculpture of our 3 pine trees. And for any of y'all that don't realize, the 3 pine trees in our logo are symbolic of our 3 academic divisions: humanities, social science, and math science. And these pine trees are just so appropriate for us because of the community we're in, where the pine tree business is such an integral part. And so these 3 trees will be actually located in the very center of campus in the quad. It's the highest point on campus, and they will be surrounded by a water feature, and then donor bricks are the other component of it that we'll begin selling. And so that's a genuine way that you can actually be permanently connected to the college in just a very visible, meaningful way. And that will also help fund the sculpture. So we have a display board out in the middle of the quadrant where it will be located, and I invite you just to swing by there and just look at it. It's got a lot of the meaning behind it, the water for knowledge, how it feeds the trees. So we're just really excited about everything that's going to be happening over the next 10 years that leads us into the 50th. And just thank you very much for being a part of it. We have incredible work here that we do at the college, but we cannot do it without community support. So thank you for what you do to make it a special place. Thanks.
You know, it's great how life provides a perfect example about what I was talking about a little while ago about the administration getting involved in things at college that weren't necessarily administrative. Of course, you know, Dr. Bomer immediately comes to the rescue of the vase. You know, while we were watching the water head over here toward these electrical cables. So, but Norma, what a cool customer she is. She just went right through her comments, and thank you very much, Norma Kennedy. All right, well, let's see here. I hope you'll all take time to go on a self-guided tour at some time to enjoy all of the original artwork around campus. There are some very talented artists that have been here through the years, and it's nice to see it preserved so well so that future generations can enjoy it. I took a drawing course from a gentleman named Neil Kalmanson when I was a student here, and in fact, it was another interesting cultural thing because Neil called it drawing. I don't know, you know, we all had to kind of get used to that because we thought it might be a furniture making class, but at any rate, he was Jewish and always had this joke about this plant he had in his office that he called a wandering Gentile. He said, I've had a great time this morning. I hope you have too. It's been a sensational program. So many people have worked hard to put so much effort into this, and it's been a great 40th anniversary program. A great planning committee made up of community folks, faculty, students, and staff have all worked very hard on today's program. Please take another moment to give them just a round of applause. It's just been sensational. Also want to recognize Vicki Sherrod and all of the student volunteers for their help today. Please give them a hand. Thank you all for coming and for your support of East Georgia State College. You're encouraged to visit often. The doors are open for you. And please remember that you are a vital part of the college's success. I also want to invite you to stay on campus following the photograph for the Parent Family Alumni Day that begins at noon. There will be lots of good free food in the Richard L. Brown Dining Hall, in the Jam Center, activities, demonstrations, and the duct tape regatta at Ezra Pond begins at 1 p.m. A fun-filled day has been planned for our enjoyment, so please stay around and help create some more memories to help kick off the next 40 years. Now, if you've ever wanted to be a part of a chalk outline without having to be fully invested, here's your opportunity because it's picture time. So what we want to do is have everybody join us for a group 40th photo to commemorate this special time as we celebrate 40 years of educating, graduating, and serving communities, and of course that stands for EGSC. Thank you again for attending. Students will be outside to direct us as we go immediately to the grassy area in front of the side of the, on the front side of the Gambrell Center and directly across from the George L. Smith building. Please stand anywhere on the 40th chalk outline and face the big yellow bucket truck and smile big. Thank you very much.